Mid-Utah Radio presents high school baseball on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
People ask me what I do in winter when there's no baseball. I'll tell you what I do. I stare out the window and wait for spring.
This broadcast is powered by Barrett's Food Town, the Jorgensen Automotive Group, Smithfield Foods, Gunnison Valley Hospital, Sevier Valley Oil, Sahara Motors, Intermountain Power, Robinson Transport, Jones and DeMille Engineering, San Pete Steel, Norbest, and Barney Trucking.
The one constant through all the years has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past. It reminds us of all that once was good.
Now let's go live to the Diamond for play-by-play coverage of high school baseball on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.
Okay, Willie Akers and Nolan Anderson, we're back again for game number 4 of the day at Gates Field, Kearns High School. We are in the 2A state tournament, and we got here a couple teams that came up through the winners bracket. Let's see if I can kind of follow it up for you. We've got the number 11 ranked, or number 10 ranked Milford Tigers. They lost their game on last Saturday, the first game 11-0 to Beaver. So they dropped down. They had to come back, and they had to beat Gunnison, which they did in the game at 1:30 today at Juan Diego Catholic High School. They beat them 7-5. Millard, they lost to Parowan last Saturday, and they turned around and had to play Duchesne earlier today at Bingham High School at 1:30, and they beat Duchesne 15-6. So that gives us our matchup of number 10 versus number 11. Number 10 highest-ranked team will be the home team here, so that's going to be the Milford Tigers against the Millard Eagles. So Milford, they are coached by Coach Kent Sullivan, and Millard Eagles by Coach Dakota Bullock. So we got the umpires meeting about to take place here. We'll go with the starting lineups here. I'll start off with the home team. That would be the Milford Tigers. Leading things off for Milford, be number 1 at third base, Taylor Dotson. Batting second, number 3 in left field, Trey Rose. Batting third, number 21, pitching, Blake Barnes. Batting fourth, number 34, Corbin Dalton behind the plate. Batting fifth, number 4 at shortstop, Kilo Sosi. Batting sixth, number 2 at first base, Tayton Sullivan. Batting seventh, number 20, Colton Barnes in center field. Batting eighth, number 5 in right field, that's Bryson Clark. Batting ninth at second base, number 7, Sadler Barnes. Now for the starting lineup for the visiting Millard Eagles, here's Nolan Anderson.
Yeah, leading off and catching number 4, Morgan Wade. Batting second at shortstop, number 11, Peyton Rasmussen. Batting third, pitching, number 21, Hunter Rhodes. Batting fourth in the cleanup position at third base, number 15, James Stevenson. Batting fifth in left field, number 7, Colton Hatch. Batting sixth in right field, number 5, Cooper Watcott. Batting seventh at first base, number 30, Chaz Ashton. And batting eighth, the DH, number 28, Landon Lee. Batting ninth in center field, number 25, Taylor Davies. And playing second base, number 2, Trayden Terry. And the Millard Eagles are coached by Dakota Bullock.
Yep. Millard Eagles coach Dakota Bullock. Got the coaches meeting going on at home plate right now. So we're probably a couple minutes away. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Utah High School Activities Association, welcome to Kearns High School and beautiful Gates Field for the 2A Baseball Championships presented by Mountain America Credit Union. The UHSA would like to thank Kearns High School and grounds crew for their great work on this beautiful facility. Let's give them a round of applause. We encourage good sportsmanship by each of you in attendance. Please show respect for efforts of coaches, players, officials, and other fans in attendance today. By doing so, you will show your positive support for the mission of high school activities in Utah. Thank you and enjoy today's game. UHSA encourages respect for all fans and participants tonight. Take the time to respect all who are attending and participating in this education-based activity setting. Respect others and expect to receive respect from others. Be inclusive in your behavior and do rowdy right. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy today's game. Let's set the players defensively for the Tigers of Milford High School. In right field, number 5, Bryson Clark. In center field is number 20, Colton Barnes. In left field, number 3, Trey Rose. Playing third, number 1, Taylor Dotson. At shortstop is number 4, Kilo Sosi. At second base is number 7, Sadler Barnes. At first base is number 2, Tate Sullivan. Doing the catching, number 34, Corbin Dalton. And doing the pitching today for the Tigers, number 21, Blake Barnes.
Willie Akers, Nolan Anderson back here at Gates Field. And our video partner here today, V6 Media. Get here and got some exciting camera angles for you. Just check it out at channelv6.com, and you'll be able to watch and listen to the last broadcast of the day between the Millard Eagles and the Milford Tigers. Number 10 Milford Tigers and the number 11 Milford Eagles. So leading things off for the Millard Eagles, going to be number 4, Morgan Wade. Then he'll be followed by Peyton Rasmussen and Hunter Rhodes.
Yeah, and Willie, just so our listeners know, these two teams have played each other twice. Milford has won both of those games. They won back in April on the 12th, 10-8, and then previous to that, they won 8-3 on March 24th. But this is a different Milford team. This is obviously a different Millard team coming off both these two teams with really big wins earlier today.
So pitch 1 from Blake Barnes is right there for strike 1. Yep, those were both early season games. So
yeah, and these two teams know each other well, but at the same time, they know they've got to win this one to get to tomorrow versus Enterprise.
Next pitch is up for ball 1. Blake Barnes comes kind of right down over the top to maybe 3/4. I did not get to see a curveball from him in warm-up, so I'm going to guess that he has got one. Next pitch, down in the zone for strike 2.
Yeah, it was down, and our previous 2 umpires haven't called that pitch down, and so obviously a little bit different style and call behind the plate, but that's where you want it if your coach is calling those down strikes.
Good swing and a miss from Morgan Wade on a ball that was down again, just like you said, for the strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Blake Barnes. 3 Barneses in the lineup today for the Milford Tigers. Wondered if anybody but the Wrights lived out there in Milford. Wright Brothers Rodeo, Barneses do wrestle and baseball.
Football, yeah. You got Bryson Barnes from Milford up at the U.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
some
probably a brother or cousin here on the team today.
Yeah, speculation as to whether he's going to be the starting quarterback, too. Good stiff competition there. Ball 2. It's Taylor Rasmussen playing shortstop in this ball game for Coach Dakota Bullock.
Yeah, Peyton's had a good year. We saw him obviously in basketball as well, but he's done a nice job so far in baseball too.
Big one's lifted towards the center fielder, Colton Barnes, going over. Yeah, can't get to it. That's on the ground. Stand-up double.
Yeah,
for Taylor Rasmussen.
Peyton's got some good wheels out there, just motoring around the bases. But that ball, it was high enough. I just wasn't sure if Barnes had enough time, and definitely the right fielder for that's Bryson Clark for Milford was not going to get it, as he had a long ways to go. But the best chance was for Colton Barnes in center field, and he laid out for it, made a great effort, but not able to come up with it.
Yeah, Bryson Clark shallow and shaded towards the right field line out there. First pitch to Hunter Rhodes is up for ball one. Colton made a good try, diving effort at the thing. Recognize it's not going to go too far beyond him as high as that thing was hit. Oh, there's another one that's hit toward him. He's got that one for out number 2.
Yeah, that time Rhodes, first pitch swinging, had a good pitch to hit. Got a good swing on it, just got too much underneath it and flew that one out to center field.
That brings up James Stevenson, the third baseman. First pitch. Upstairs for ball one.
Like you say, Willie, right field really shallow, and they're not too deep in center and left either.
That one popped up to the right-hand side. Is that going to stay fair? Looks like it. Yes. Corralled there by Tate and Sullivan for out number 3 on the P3. So, no runs on one hit, no errors, one runner left on. After a half inning of play, it's the Millard Eagles nothing, and Milford Tigers coming to bat. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and B6 Media. Willie Akers, Nolan Anderson back here. As Nolan talked about earlier, these two teams know each other. They've met twice, with Milford coming away victorious in both of those. So this is what you consider the rubber match.
And in that southern region too, Willie, Milford was 2-8. Their only 2 wins were against Millard, and Millard was 0-10.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for the Millard Eagles. Looking to change things. A good payback would be a victory here in the
when it really
tournament.
matters.
That's right. That's right. So coming to bat for the Milford Eagles, going to be Taylor Dotson, Trey Rose, and Blake Barnes.
You see this too. The catcher, people might wonder what's going on. He's got a little wire up, something in his back pocket, up through his back, and an earpiece in.
And it's not a rock concert.
No, they're calling the pitches. They're telling him what plays they want, trying to help speed up the game. Something that you see MLB's, everyone's starting to go to that. It helps in teams picking up and stealing signs, things like that.
Wired in the dugout, courtesy of the Houston Astros. Ball one.
Haven't heard any trash cans getting banged yet down here.
Nope. It's over the 1-0 from Hunter Rhodes. in the dirt. He was having trouble. Everything he threw was, well, the majority of them were in the dirt in his warm-ups. He comes from the kind of three-quarter slot. Two-0 pitch. That's going to catch the corner for called strike one.
That was a good pitch that time, and Coach Sullivan looking down here at Taylor Dotson, just saying, hey, no big deal, 2-1, go to work.
That one missed down.
Yeah, it was a pretty good pitch, but, this umpire, as opposed to the last two, he's calling it a little more down, but that one was too far down.
Yep. 3-1 pitch called strike two. Taylor Dotson doing what he's supposed to do as a leadoff hitter. He saw 5 pitches right now, so this is the pitch decision right here for Hunter Rhodes. Umpire had to think about it, but he
had a little hesitation, but the catcher Morgan Wade held it there, and Hunter Rhodes was kind of just staring it down, waiting, and umpire rings up Taylor Dotson on called third strike.
So that's going to bring Trey Rose to the plate. He'll be followed by Blake Barnes and Corbin Dalton if we get that far. Trey Rose in left field today for Coach Kent Sullivan. First pitch, it's upstairs, ball one. Next pitch, called strike two. And called strike. Strike one. I want to thank our video partner today, V6 Media. Check us out at channel v6.com. Next pitch upstairs, ball two.
Yeah, Rhodes was keeping the ball down early on that first batter as he faced Dotson down in the zone really well, and now he's missed 2 up high.
There's one, swing and miss.
That looked like maybe a changeup or some curveball, I guess. It was hard for me to see, kind of blocked a little bit, but really good off-speed pitch there from Rhodes.
That was fouled off. You see a lot of these young kids trying to throw that fork ball, and if they don't have the right arm slot and the right follow-through, a lot of times it just kind of tumbles. Won't look like a knuckleball sometimes. Won't do much, but
use it just like a changeup versus like a sinking fastball type pitch, which is really what it's designed to do. Is that good split finger fastball or fork ball, really similar pitch.
Well, you got to have a fairly good sized hand to be successful with that fork ball. Called strike three. Back to back.
Yeah. Rhodes looking pretty good out there so far.
Brings up Blake Barnes. Looks a lot like that Bryson Barnes that used to play here, doesn't he? Tall, lanky kid.
Number 21, Blake Barnes.
One of the fastest kids I think I ever watched in baseball, Bryson Barnes. Down there in Dixie, beat out a ground ball. I remember that.
I remember that. We talked a lot about that, obviously.
Strike one.
And then an excellent arm and just what a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, that was hit hard at the shortstop out there, and that just bang. And he beat him. Everything was done right by the shortstop. He just couldn't contend. Next pitch, down right there, strike two. After some early troubles, maybe upstairs and in the dirt. Rhodes seemed to have done it in
one
here.
thing about Rhodes, that we talk about competitors, and he's one of the ultimate competitors.
Fouled off on the curveball.
He's going to go out there and compete. He's going to give it everything he's got.
Yep, he's good athlete, good basketball player. Of course, missed a couple games this year attending some basketball stuff. Small town America, that happens a lot of times when you're trying to get a little help more than one sport. Oh boy, I'm not sure where that one missed.
Yeah, the Millard fans and dugout was really hoping for another called third strike to end the
Barnes
inning. Yeah.
made a long look at the umpire himself. And after we had that kind of late call on the early one, he wondered. No guessing on that one. That one was upstairs. Stevens count at 2-2. This will be the 6th pitch in the at-bat. Blake Barnes. There's the pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, really good at-bat so far from Barnes as he got down 0-2. He's battled back now to a full count, and the payoff pitch here from Rhodes is going to decide what happens as these two both battling it out.
Yeah, gets a little closer to the plate, does Blake Barnes on this one. Fouls that one off again to stay alive. So this will be the 8th pitch in the at-bat to Blake Barnes. On Rhodes, he's using up a bunch of pitches. He's gone 6 pitches on the first 2.
So you can see this. You can see the size of Barnes too. Can you imagine? And a lot of corners this year, a lot smaller than him, but he'd get that ball on that sweep and come around the corner and then have to be, as a corner trying to tackle him. Especially when he gets a full head of steam because he's got good speed too.
So, first base runner for the Milford Tigers. That's going to bring up Corbin Dalton, the catcher. Or number 34, Coach Kent Sullivan. Kilo Sosi. In the on deck.
Courtesy runner number 22, Slade Mortensen.
Running for Milford. There's their.
That's Milford's right there, yeah.
Milford. 22. Slade Mortensen. Running for Blake Barnes. So the first pitch for Corbin Dalton from Hunter Rhodes. Slade to Mortensen on first base. Good lead. Throw over. Ooh, close.
And Dalton on the season, he's the second behind Taylor Dotson in RBIs on the team with 12 RBIs. He also tied for first with 5 doubles on the team.
First pitch. Quick pitch going to get by. Morgan Wade all the way to the backstop. So Slade Mortensen will move over to second base on the wild pitch.
Yeah, and this is where those RBIs, you get a chance to rack them up right here when you get guys in scoring position and can come up with big hits.
Open stance there, right on right. Pitch. Hit towards the third baseman. We got run down on Slade Mortensen. They're going to get him at third base.
Yeah, normally you just see the infielder just filled that one and go across the diamond, but right there, Millard choosing, got the guy hung up between second and third, just went ahead and executed the run down to end the inning.
So, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on. After 1 complete inning, it's 0-0. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
At V6 Media, we specialize in helping businesses tell their stories with powerful and engaging video. But telling your story is just the starting point. Telling it to the right people in the right place is how you make it count. Our team can help by delivering your ad in places like Google, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll make sure that your business is being seen. Your business has a story to tell. Let us help.
Acres, Nolan Anderson back here at Gates Field, Kearns High School. We're going into the top of the second inning in a 0-0 ball game. Colton Hatch, Cooper Watcott, Chaz Ashton for the Eagles against Blake Barn, the Milford Tigers. First pitch outside for ball one.
Not really sure either, Willie, too. These two teams obviously played earlier, come up with two big wins, both of them, but not sure pitch counts and who threw those games. We'll try to see if we can't figure that out in between innings.
Yeah, that low outside strike there. Blake Barnes, yeah, well, we'll, I guess, take it as it comes.
Mm-hmm.
That one swing and a miss and one up, fouled back. I do good keeping track of the pitches until they start changing stuff up on me here, and then that's why we got the digital guy over there to our left. Utah High School State Activities Association, they're keeping everything legal here. Above board. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch hit towards the first baseman, knocks off his glove.
You could see that one coming, Willie. That had that kind of a spin on it that the fielder, if you don't come get it on the hop before that one, you could just see that happening from here. As that ball was hit down the right field line, first baseman just kind of sat back on his heels. He never got in front of it, never squared it up, just wanted to field it off to his side, and it ricochets off his glove into right field. And Millard gets their first runner via the air now. That's their second. Peyton Rasmussen had the double in the first.
So Blake Barnes from the stretch, first pitch. Ooh, little chin music there to Cooper Watcott for ball one.
Yeah, and they were checking it with the outfield umpire to see if he went, but they said no, and we just lost half the lights here.
Something going on with the lights on the right hand. They come on again. Putin did it. That one's popped up to the right-hand side. Peyton Sullivan giving chase. He's going to run out of real estate over there.
It looks like those other lights came back on right here, but it still seems dark right here behind home plate.
That's what makes me wonder if that's what they're trying to come up with here, but I don't know, not being able to see what's above us there. So the 1-1 pitch. Nobody out, got a runner on first base. That's Colton Hatch. Next pitch is down.
Yeah, normally we have kind of that bird's eye view. Here we got the groundhog view.
That's it. I don't mind it. We're just a little warmer, huh?
Yeah. No, it's a great view. What a great place to play some high school baseball. Yep. And the Kearns, their baseball team running the concessions, or coaches helping out, and then what a ground crew and how well they take care of this and get the teams in and out ready to go for the next game.
Yeah, that was fouled off for strike 2. Cooper Watcott. Yeah, great field. My son Lowry, like I said, got to play here with the Marshals back, I think, in 2008 or 2009. And great venue. Two pitch from Barnes. Popped up to the right-hand side. Bryson Clark going over. Gets it right on the foul line. Out number 1. The F9.
Yeah, really nice job by Bryson Clark. The thing that I like, too, is he had time to get around the ball. I mean, and it's not like the runner was tagging, but if he was in position to get that momentum going towards second base with the throw.
Exactly right. Little things. Coaching. Game knowledge.
Yeah.
Number 30, Chaz Ashton.
Situational baseball. Chaz Ashton grounds toward the third baseman. Got it. Going to throw to first base for the 5-3 put out.
That's a big time play right there from Taylor Dotson. Comes in, fields it, and then just really rocketed that one across the diamond from third to first base right there to get the out as Chaz Ashton hit a hard one down the line.
Yeah, good stretch there from Peyton Sullivan. So that brings to the plate Landon Lee, the DH. Coach Bullock says he just has a way of getting on. Ball's in the dirt. Hatch has to head back to second. He had good secondary lead and had thoughts of going to third base. Fought better and retreated. Next pitch. Hit to the right side. That's going to get down and past Bryson Barnes. That's going to end up with at least, I think, a stand-up triple.
Yeah, it is, and that's one of those out there in right field where, you know, this you got to understand the inning, the score, the outs, the situation, runner at second. If you fill that one hop, you might have a play at home plate or at least keep him from scoring. If anything, you know, it's one run regardless and a runner at first base, but instead by diving and not coming up with it, it's for sure one run, and now you got a runner at third base 90 feet away from run number 2.
Exactly right. Here's the first pitch, hit right at the third baseman. Oh. Airmail's out, but they're calling him out. I think he come into him. What did he do there? Because I see him push the. You can't do that.
No, but I think what happened there is first base coach for Millard thought that Taylor Davies had hit the bag before the actual first baseman came down, and that's what Coach Bullock's asking is, hey, did he really come down and touch the bag before my guy hit the bag first too? But one of those bang plays, it was a high throw, but they're saying the first baseman, you know, for Milford, that's Tate Sullivan, he did come down, touch the bag before.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, okay, so we get one run, one hit, one error, and one runner left on base. After 1.5 innings of play, it's 1-0 Millard. With Milford coming to bat, we'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Shortstop number 4, Consolation.
The Acres, Nolan Anderson back here. Hunter Rhodes for the Eagles going to face Kylo Sosi, Tate Sullivan, and Colton Barnes. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1 to Sosi. .22 pitches in that first inning for Hunter Rhodes. Like I said, we're not sure of the number of pitches available in the pitches, but I guess we'll find out as we go. 1-0. Downstairs, ball 2.
Milford coaches telling the dugout to get going, get into it as they find themselves down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second.
Curveball there catches the bottom portion of that strike zone for a called strike 1. The Rhodes has got something that's just kind of, bottom kind of falls out of that pitch. I'm trying to pick up the spin there. There's no roll like the curveball, just kind of drops there.
You know, and one thing to note too, Millard with the 1-0 lead, but they were 1-18 coming into today, and they get the win earlier, and they go to 2-18.
Third baseman Stevenson across the diamond for out number 1.
They're looking for their 3rd win of the season right here, and 2 in a day. That beat their whole season.
Okay, what a way to do it in state tournament, huh? That brings to the plate Tate Sullivan, first baseman.
First baseman number 2, Tate
Yeah,
Sullivan.
we've seen Sullivan make some defensive plays. Now he gets a chance to get his first at-bat and do something at the plate.
First pitch down and away for ball 1. Seems like we've been here for 2 or 3 days already, Coach. Dang. 1 ball. Tate Sullivan in the batter's box. Curveball lifted to the right-hand side. I think that's going to get out of play.
Yeah, pretty good effort, though. Millard, you had all 3, the right fielder, second baseman, and first baseman. And first baseman, Chaz Ashton, the closest one. But they all 3 gave chase and did it, made a great effort. Just didn't have enough room. And they weren't going to make it even if it would have stayed in. I don't think they'd have reached it.
I'm disappointed in the old gal in the chair out there that she didn't get up and give it a whirl there. Next pitch is upstairs. Ball 2. She had the best shot at it.
Yeah.
Two 1 pitch. In the dirt, gets away from Morgan Wade for ball 3.
Yeah, and right now you got both teams really, dugouts getting going. Milford encouraging, trying to get something positive that way. And then Millard defensively just saying, hey, throw strikes, got good defense behind you.
Sullivan steps out. Going to reset here. Counts 3-1. 1 out. Lost him. Wade can't find the baseball.
Makes you wonder right there if coaches aren't telling him in the ear. In front of you, to your left.
If that's legal.
I don't know. Why wouldn't it be, I guess, if you can talk to him. But it's
only the CIA would know if they're monitoring it, huh?
It's got to be quick, but sometimes, that's the pitcher's job. Point things out. We saw that with Keegan Heath earlier in South Sevier. He pointed out a couple pop-ups, one to the catcher, one to the third baseman.
First pitch going to get by Morgan Wade and all the way to the screen. Sullivan's going to move up to second base on the pass ball.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those today, too, where the catchers, they still try to catch it like they would a normal fastball. But then when that's down like that, you got to turn the glove over and just keep it in front, scoop it.
Here again, that's where that ball, that's that pitch again from Rose. The bottom just kind of falls out of that pitch. There's a curveball. He dials that one in for strike 1. So, got the tying run at second base there. Colton Barnes at bat. There you go, that's a base hit. But I'm not sure that's going to be. Had the Colton Hatch playing pretty shallow out there in left field. He's able to get the ball back in quick enough to hold the runner at third base.
Coach Sullivan right there holding him all the way is, only 1 out. Didn't need to press that with 2 outs. You might try sending him, but now you got first and third 1 out.
Bryson Clark at bat. Hey, you can put some kind of play on out there with the kid at first base. Yeah. No. They just let him go a little defensive indifference there.
Yeah, kind of a fake bunt right there just to hold the catcher down and maybe see if you can draw some infielders and then just a straight still.
Third ball upstairs, but called strike 2. Barnes turns around and had a little word with himself, and we're going to do it all over again. Here's the 0-2. Close.
Yeah, just a little too far out, but with an 0-2 count, I like that pitch. You got to try to make the pitcher hit your pitch. You don't want to groove something right there, and you might get him to chase, but good discipline there at the plate by Bryson Clark.
Curveball. Had Colton Barnes leaning over, just taking a whack at it to stay alive.
You know, this is where, now, same thing. You go 1-2 off the plate, then you go curveball. This might be the chance where if you're Rhodes, you come with the high fastball and see if you can't get him to swing at something, and then maybe come back to that curveball down and away.
Yep, come up and in. Use a setup pitch here.
Yeah, you got
change elevation, change eye level.
You always got to be thinking sequences. It's a lot like the offensive coordinator for football. You're running plays to set up certain plays, and same thing with pitching here.
Good point.
There it was, too. Just a little too far up, but I like that. That's a good pitch. Change the eye level. Now you've set up your curveball. You can come down and in, or you can go down and away with it.
Comes to that pitch that bottom drops out. Morgan Wade's going to have to get out there and protect. Keep that runner at second base. There it was. It was down. Well, Barnes went and got it.
So far we've seen some really good bats this inning. Started a ground ball to third base for the first out, but then you follow that up with Peyton Sullivan, gets a nice base on balls, work the count. Colton Barnes battles, gets a single, and you've got runners at second and third here with one out.
2-2 pitch on the way. Upstairs, he thought about it, held up, watched ball 3 go by.
Yeah, he almost went for it. Rhodes, once again, good idea, just didn't quite get him to chase. But you're facing the number 8 hitter in Bryson Clark with the number 9 hitter Sadler Barnes on deck. These are the two you want if you're Millard.
Walked him. So bases are full. Tigers, I mean. Third base on balls given up by Hunter Rhodes.
Yeah, that's one thing. Sometimes you try to be too perfect. Pitch to contact, let your defense help you, but you try to be too fine right there and end up walking the batter.
First pitch to Sadler Barnes is lifted to left field. Throws offline, and they play at the plate. Sacrifice fly.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. That's what you want. Sadler Barnes takes something to the outfield, drive it deep where you can at least get that run in from third base. So good piece of hitting right there. But also defensively, smart play out there in left field by Colton Hatch coming in, hitting your cutoff man there at third base. And not allowing any extra bases.
First pitch to Taylor Dotson is a ball on the outside portion. Momentarily got away from Morgan Wade, but he recovers in time to keep.
Yeah, he did, and fortunate for them that the runners didn't move up, because I felt like if they would have had a good primary lead and then worked on a good secondary, they both could have moved up 90 feet.
Next pitch can catch the inside corner. Called strike one. Yeah. Morgan Wade doesn't have the strongest arms, so there's really no danger of him throwing behind you.
Well, when the ball bounces away and it takes your momentum opposite too, it's hard for him to go get it and then turn around and make the play.
The ball's upstairs.
Rhodes has been really effective when he's kept the ball down in the zone. When he's went up on purpose, that's okay, but he's missing. When he misses up.
Fair ball dialed in there for strike 2. Taylor Dotson struck out looking his first time up.
There's our 2s across the scoreboard out there.
There they are. Second inning as well to add to that. 2 hits. Curveball fouled off to the right side. They stay alive in the at-bat. It'll be the 6th pitch in the at-bat. Taylor Dotson. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1-1 ball game. Second inning. Pitch is hit towards Taylor Rasmussen. He's going to go to second base for the force out.
Yeah, nice job right there. Peyton Rasmussen takes the ball, fielding it going up the middle, just flip over to second base to Traden Terry for the third out.
So 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, 2 runners left on. At the end of 2 full innings, it's 1-1. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. Here, let's get hear from our V6 media sponsors. Gateway St. Clair, locally owned and operated, and has served Duchesne for 22 years. Stop by for a car, a truck wash, Subway sandwich, hot stuffed pizza, and lots of delicious snacks. They also have a free dump, RV dump, clean bathrooms, and a friendly staff around. Coming up this inning for the Millard Eagles. Here to leave off at it. We're going to be back at the top of the order. Morgan Wade, Peyton Rasmussen, and Hunter Rhodes. Morgan struck out his first time up. Blake Barnes delivers upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, Morgan doing the catching duties for Millard in the leadoff spot.
Blake Barnes, 1-0 pitch. That gets away. Back to the screen for ball 2. Pitch. Swing and a miss by Wade.
Yeah, curveball swung right over the top of it. I had some good sink to it. A nice looking pitch from Barnes.
2-1. That's upstairs. Ball 3.
You know, both these two teams have been pretty disciplined at the plate so far. We've seen quite a few pitches where hitters, you know, earlier in the day they were being chased and swung at, but not so much tonight.
He loses him on the 2-1 pitch, base on balls.
And that's what you want if you're Coach Bullock out of your leadoff, Morgan Wade. Find a way to get on base, whether it's a base hit, walk, whatever it takes.
Yep, that's first base on first base on balls given up by Blake Barnes. Brings Peyton Rasmussen to the plate. Wade at first base, 2-step lead off there. And that takes another one. Barnes comes to the plate, deals high for ball 1.
Rasmussen, you know, had the double in his first bat, hit kind of into right center field, and once again, right fielders playing shallow and, you know, playing straight up in right field, but he's really shallow center field on the left side of second base and shallow as well. There's lots of room out there if you can get something, drive it in the gap.
And, you know, the games that I've watched, Peyton Rasmussen, he deals quite often right center field.
Well, he's got the open stance, so he has a chance to really step into a pitch out there and drive it that way.
Ball 3 gets away momentarily from Corbin Dalton.
We've seen a lot of those already in this game, Willie, where the catcher just misses it and it takes him momentum towards. You've got to be able to pick up the extra base.
Yeah, Morgan Wade was already on his way back when the ball hit the glove.
Players got to be reading the ball out of the pitcher's hand, moving with a good secondary towards the next base, and then be aggressive.
There's one that the bottom drops out of for Strike one looking.
Yeah, great hit and run count right here. 3-1, runner at first base. Ball 4, you let it go. Otherwise, you know, as a hitter, you're teeing off.
He did, right center field, tailing away. That's going to get down. That's going all the way to the fence. That's going to score a run. Rasmussen's on the way to third base. He's going to get there. Stand-up triple.
Great piece of hit right there from Rasmussen. Takes that pitch and drives it to right center field once again. And, you know, that's one thing. You can only play one spot. You can either play deep or you can play shallow. And Milford choosing to play shallow, you're going to give up that big hit.
So, score 2-1. Nobody out. Rasmussen at third. Hunter Rhodes up at the plate. Flew out to the center fielder his first time up.
Yeah, and Coach Bullock would take that right here, you know, if another fly out scores another run. And so if you're Rhodes, that's what you're looking for, something out over the plate that you can drive into the outfield or take something and hit the ball the right side. And I think Coach Sullivan's going to talk about that defensively. Are we going to bring the infield in with no outs, cut off the run, or are we just going to stay straight up and just make the play that comes to us, depending on what that may be?
Well, it's also, by my unofficial count, the 34th pitch for Blake Barnes. So, the question of pitch count. I mean, this is a loser's bracket game. You really can't be looking.
Yeah, and I guess it depends if he pitched earlier, which we still haven't heard yet, so we don't know. But if he hasn't, yeah, like you say, you got to win this one to play tomorrow.
So Hunter Rhodes going to face Blake Barnes. There's the first pitch. Curveball. Stays up. Ball one.
Yeah, it kind of had some late break as he's smiling to his catcher like, yeah, that one's not the pitch. He's still smiling out there on that. Maybe Rhodes is smiling at him too. I don't know, but
Peyton Rasmussen at third base. Ball's outside for ball two.
You know, you don't want to walk Rhodes right here if you're Milford because he's got great speed. He's going to try on still second base, and then you got two guys in scoring position. You want to challenge him.
Yeah, just kind of late recognition of that ball in the outside portion. Slapped at it for strike one. The 2-1 pitch. On its way. Curveball. There's that right center field again. That's going to get down. And Rhodes, like you said, showing that speed. He's up at second base with a stand-up double.
Yeah, and that pitch, that was that same curveball. Just let it hang up there. And Rhodes says, nope, I got enough time to see what that's going to do. I'm going to go ahead and drive that into right center field and get me a double and an RBI. So Millard takes the lead now 3-1. And Coach Sullivan's going to go out and make a change.
Okay, let's hear from our, we'll get back to our V6 sponsors today. Jones Paint and Glass has high-quality paint brands, including designer favorite Benjamin Moore at affordable prices. Visit their design experts in Vernal and Roosevelt to find the right color and paint for your next project. Larson Haslam Dental in Roosevelt has the latest dental technology and offers same-day crowns. Dr. Jake Richardson is accepting new patients. Call 722-0101. Christine Watkins for Utah Congress. Coverage is sponsored in part by State Representative Christine Watkins, strong rural advocate for oil and gas, small businesses, education, and the Second Amendment. Who got here taking over? Number 2.
Yeah, that's number 2. That's
Drayton Sullivan come from first base.
Yeah.
Where did Barnes go?
He went out to center field.
So, who came in to first base? Did Colton Barnes come in to first base?
Yeah, looks like
number 20. Is he on the infield here?
Number 11, Kason Kessler.
Number 11.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Number 11, Kason Kessler. Replacing Colton Barnes. 21, Blake Barnes goes to center field. Peyton Sullivan's the new pitcher, right-hander. Comes right down over the top. Just saw a pretty fair curveball there from him.
Again, coming to the plate is going to be James Stevenson for Millard with no outs and Hunter Rhodes standing at second base.
First pitch, misses for ball one.
And you want to be patient when you're a hitter against a pitcher that just comes into the game, hasn't really got a lot of throws to get warmed up or get used to the mound out there. So you make him throw you your pitch.
No, that wasn't Stevenson's pitch. That was down, and everything rolled over, just hit a weak dribbler to third base. We're talking about that. You got to shoot that thing to the right-hand side. It's down there low. That's a good pitch to hit between the second baseman and first base. Great big hole out there. Now, he just hits it at the third baseman. Cross for the 5-3 putout. And the first out, but it does move Hunter Rhodes over to third base.
We've seen some really good plays over there from Taylor Dotson at third base. He's been pretty solid with the glove. Nice, strong arm.
No indecision. He knew where he was going to go if the ball came to him. It's early in the ball game. They're only down 3-1. Colton Hatch up. There's one's going to go to right field. Caught there. Tagging at third base. No play. Made the plate, but no chance to get Hunter Rhodes.
No, good job of Rhodes tagging up, and a better piece of hitting with Colton Hatch taking the ball to right field, driving it. A nice sack flying to right.
Right fielder number 5, Cooper Watcott.
So 4-1, your score here. We're in the top of the third inning. Millard Eagles with the lead. Trayton Sullivan, the pitcher. Cooper Watcott, the batter. First pitch, outside for ball one. Cooper flew out to the right fielder his first time up.
Sounds good.
The 1-0 pitch. Curveball, that's going to drop right down in there for strike one.
Yeah, Cooper just not his pitch. Didn't want that one, laying off it, but nice curveball from Sullivan.
You've already gone beyond me. I don't know if it's going to help.
That was upstairs. Close to the strike zone for ball two. There's the 2-1 pitch. Oh, curveball behind him. Getting a hard time from the team.
Yeah, the team's really razzing him right there. He should have probably been hit in the back, but he did a heck of a job to get out over the plate and avoid being hit right there by that pitch.
He wanted him to wear that one.
When did they say?
So it wasn't his style.
No. Catcher interference, I believe. You could hear that, but
That's what it sounded like to me. Catcher didn't say nothing, no.
No, well, he's not going to, but Watcott kind of looked back at him and looked at the umpire like, didn't I hit his glove? But maybe not. Maybe just come off his glove. It sounded like it, and he at first looked like it maybe did, but they're not going to say.
Full count, he loses him. So Watcott's at first base with 2 outs. Brings up Chaz Ashton. Chaz does have some pop in his bat. First pitch from Sullivan. Outside for ball one. Good secondary lead there from Cooper Watcott over there at first base.
Well, we finished seeded 12, so we host Syracuse here on Saturday. So we'll finish the 2-8 run, not the practice field.
Upstairs, fouled back.
Yeah, really not a lot you can do with that pitch, kind of up and in on the hands, and he fouls it off. But we've said this numerous times, batters got to realize what pitches they can do certain things with and what pitches are just going to get themselves out with. But and sometimes seeing a strike's not a bad thing, but at the same time he fouls that one off.
So we're chasing balls here right now. Umpire trying to replenish the stock of baseballs. 4-1 the score here at Gates Field, Kearns High School. Millard Eagles leading. Top of the third. They've had 3 runs across in the inning so far. Got a runner at first base and 2 outs. There's the pitch. Slapped to the right-hand side. Foul. Strike 2.
Yeah, Sullivan right now really working the outside part of the plate against Chaz Ashton, who pulled the ball down to third base last time, and they don't want to give him anything in his wheelhouse.
Ball swings and miss on pitch. It's up in the strike zone for out number 3. But they do come up with 3 runs. They do it on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base at the end of 2.5. The Millard Eagles 4, Milford Tigers 1. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Delta and Film.
Paint projects go more smoothly when you use Jones Paint and Glass, because we're as excited as you are about your project. Our paint experts know their paint and will work with you to help you find the perfect paint products for your needs. They'll help ensure you get the color you're hoping for and that you're able to get the job done right the first time. Stop by Jones Paint and Glass to speak with an expert today.
When you hear the crash, you better think Jones.
For our communities through access to compassionate quality health care, investing in those we serve. Moon Lake Electric. Moon Lake Electric, a locally owned association with over 83 years of providing dependable and affordable electric service to its membership. Its well-trained workforce of 90 employees and its state-of-the-art electrical system have set a standard of excellence in the electrical utility industry. Okay, Trey Rhodes, Blake Barnes, Corbin Dalton are going to face Hunter Rhodes here, down 4-1. First pitch from Hunter. Gets the corner for strike 1.
Good pitch right there. And Rhodes, you want him to come out and pitch. You got a 3-1 lead. Pitch to contact, throw a lot of strikes, and hopefully your defense will make plays behind him.
0-1. Same place, but hit right back up the middle. Good piece of hitting there by Trey Rhodes.
Yeah, he really squared that one up. Rhodes couldn't even get his glove down quick enough to maybe try to make a play on that one. Just a line shot right back up the middle.
That brings Blake Barnes to the plate. Blake walked his first time up.
Coach Sullivan looking over at Rose saying, hey, get a good lead.
Rhodes takes a good long look over, looks again. Rhodes got a good lead. He goes up, hits him in the middle of the back.
Yeah, that'll keep him from going to second. If that doesn't hit him, though, I don't know that that ball probably gets past him, and you never know if it's going to bounce up out of play or if it's going to skip, hit that cement, go down the right field line. But definitely he's going to move Rose up to second base, possibly third. Instead, hits him right in the back.
So, first pitch to Barnes. There goes Rose. Ball's hit down the right field line. Chaz Ashton made a good effort at it.
He got it off the one-hop bounce.
Yep.
Barehanded it.
Struck one. Some good wheels there from Ashton. Get after that one. Good effort, good hustle. So we'll do it again. 0-1. Hunter Rhodes facing Blake Barnes. Trey Rose at first base. He had gone on that last pitch. Not going this time. Ball's in the dirt. Ball one. Heating things up for Blake Barnes. Another throw to first.
That was a perfect throw right there for Ashton just to catch tag, but Rose didn't have a huge lead, was able to get in there.
1-1, no outs. 4-1 ball game. Favor of the Millard Eagles. There's the pitch. There's a runner going. Morgan Wade throws down. Nope, he's in there. Here's the ball.
I think the catcher Wade's asking, did he go? And the umpire shaking his head, no, he didn't. So you're right, that was a ball. And I don't know that Barnes was even check swinging or wanted to swing. It was almost like trying to.
He was ducking, getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Curve ball. Fouls in. Strike two.
Yeah, Barnes nodded his head, looks down at Coach Sullivan there at third base, shakes his head. Yeah, that was a strike, but once again, it was a curveball, not his pitch, so he let it go.
So the 2-2 pitch, curveball, fouled off to the right-hand side to stay alive.
Yeah, and that one was another pretty good pitch from Rhodes. And that time it was down where, I think he can get Barnes to roll over that one. If he leaves it up, that's a pitch that Barnes is probably capable of taking out of here.
He's down, hits Wade. He's down, but nope.
There's a good job of running bases from Rose. Good secondary, ball in the dirt. Gets away from Wade. Wade made a great effort, go barehanded, make a throw to third base, but you're just not going to get the aggressive base runner right there, and Rose is just that.
Yeah, Morgan Wade did what he had to, got his body on the ball, just kicked it out in front of him. Blake Barnes going to take the walk.
Yeah, and he kind of stuck his elbow out there like get hit by it, but either way, it's ball four or get hit, so you just will take ball four and not get hit.
Him and Chad Ashton giggling about something down there.
I think probably that he tried to get hit right there on ball four. And Barnes has got great speed too, so I would imagine you'll see him taking off here shortly.
He's gone. Ball hit back at Rhodes. Rhodes got no plays. He got away with one there.
Yeah.
Point out he didn't even take a look at that runner at third base.
No.
He did look at second, but.
Yeah, and really there was no play either way. I mean, the only play he had was at first base as Barnes was off on the pitch, just a straight still, but,
You need to check that runner at third base. There's one that's popped up down the right-hand side. Ashton going back. He caught it, but he's not going to be able to make the throw home.
No, that's one of those, you teach your players in advance, same thing, score, inning, situation, number of outs. If it's for sure foul right there, sometimes you can just let that ball drop, but and then it's, nobody scores, and then you have a chance to get that third out before anybody scores. But nonetheless, you have the lead, and one run's not going to hurt you. Take the out. Nice play there from Ashton at first base.
There's a strike. Tatum Sullivan.
Yeah, and Tatum in his first at-bat drew a walk, had a really good at-bat.
He gets away. Here comes Barnes. Going to be a play. He's there. There we go. We talked about the good secondary lead and the speed. Cuts it to a 1-run deficit.
Yeah, and that's, you walk Barnes. He's still second. Gets the third on the, he tagged up as well. Another thing, same thing. Really good base running this inning from the Milford Tigers has led to those 2 runs.
Football is not the only game of inches.
Yeah.
Station to station, good job of base running there by Blake Barnes. Ball hit foul down the right field line, hits the tarp down there and along the line.
Yeah, how many high school teams do you see with the full infield tarp?
Not very many.
Not many at all, but, Milford get a little bit of momentum. They find themselves only down 1 run here in the bottom of the third. They started this inning trailing 4-1, but they've picked up 2 key runs here with 2 outs to make it a 1-run game.
Sullivan swings and misses. Strike 3.
Yeah, good looking curveball from Rhodes to sit him down to end this inning.
But they get 2 runs. They do so on 1 hit. No errors, and there was nobody left on base. At the end of 3 complete, 4-3, Millard with a 1-run lead. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. Add to their 1-run lead, they're going to go with Landon Lee. Taylor Davies back to the top of the order with Morgan Wade. Tatum Sullivan still on the mound for the Milford Tigers.
Yeah, Millard right now, chance to add to their 1-run lead. They've got 4 runs on 4 hits. Milford, 3 runs on 2 hits.
Ball 1 to Landon Lee.
They tried to bring that curveball in, started at the hitter and break it out over the inside part of the plate, which I think he did, but it was just up in the zone.
Next pitch, that's going to, Landon Lee going to wear that one.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about. Coach Dakota Bullock talking about that kid just finds a way to get on base.
Yeah, and that was the identical pitch, but, Miller doing whatever it takes, leans over, umpire, was in the batter's box, so lets him have it. Now, if a player leans out over the plate and intentionally gets hit, they usually just, depending on what it was, they can call it a ball or strike and keep the batter in the box, but that one was definitely going to hit him inside the box.
So that brings up Taylor Davies, grounded out to the third baseman for the 3rd out back in the 2nd inning. Landon Lee, not much of a lead over there. Ball gets away. There goes Landon. He was headed back, but recognized that the pitch had got by. Takes off to second base. RBI opportunity for Taylor Davies.
Yeah, and Taylor Davies is one of those players he's in the 9 spot, but he's definitely capable of hitting anywhere in the order, and chance to pick up an RBI like you said and add another run on the board.
Comes upstairs for ball 2. 2-0 count. That one's that's drove deep in the hole there left field. That's going all the way to the wall. Taylor Davies, he's motoring. He's going to be at third base here with a stand-up triple.
Yeah, really nice hit as Davies stroked that one in the left center field, rolls all the way to the fence, and like you said, a stand-up triple picks up the RBI, and just like that, Millard picks up one of those runs they gave back to Milford last inning.
I missed where the ball went. I just looked back from the Purple Mountain Majesty over there. Looks like we're setting up for a pretty good sunset. Can't see it, but we can see the reflection on the mountains to the east of us. That pitch to Morgan Wade's going to drop in there for called strike 1. I know, pay attention to the ball game. There's one that's hit at the shortstop. Good pickup there. Strike to first base from Tosi there. Sosi, good arm. For the 6-3 put out number 2. No, that's just out number 1.
Yeah, and that's one of those where your runner at third base, you got to get a good primary, moving up with the pitch going home. You're getting a good secondary. Anywhere hit, but right back to pitcher, third base, you should score on the infield unless the infielder's in and shortstop's playing back, but they don't score that run.
Yeah, especially with the speed of Taylor Davies that we just saw earlier. He may still be wore out from that trip around the bases. Ball 1.
He's got 90 more feet in him, I know that. and the way he was running, he's got more than that. He was motoring, like you said, getting around those bases.
Ball 2.
But the other thing too is, Coach Bullock might have told him with no outs, we're going to hit you in right here. We'll make a decision. You got Peyton Rasmussen, who's on deck. He's hit a double and a triple already, so
he likes to go to that right side.
Yeah, no reason to get too antsy here and get thrown out at home or something. But I do think that Davies moving on that last one scores easily.
Yeah, waves at a curveball. Does Peyton Rasmussen down in the zone. Here's the next pitch. The same thing, but he goes to the right-hand side with it. Foul.
Yeah, and I'm really shocked that Milford hasn't made an adjustment. Literally, Peyton Rasmussen's hit the ball almost on identical spots for the double and the triple to right center field, and center still shading him to the left side. Right field hasn't moved a whole lot more towards center field either, and they're not very deep.
There it is, but this one's hit right at Blake Barnes, but that ball was hit harder than he thought over his head. Peyton Rasmussen's on his way to third base. He's going to be in there with a triple. And a chance to go more. Nope.
Yeah, just right there, the ball's, the way he's been swinging the bat, you've got to deepen up right there. But he flat out burns Barnes and drives it over his head in center field. So, that's another triple for him and another RBI. So that's back-to-back triples and RBIs for Peyton Rasmussen now.
Well, we're going to have a pitch and change while we're waiting to find out what's going on. We're going to hear from our sponsors. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Network and the V6 Media. High School, Troy State baseball. 6-3 lead for the Millard Eagles as they bat. As they bat here with one out in the top of the fourth inning. They've already put 2 runs across. They've got a new pitcher for the Milford Tigers. It's number 2, Sadler Barnes. Him and Taylor Taylor Sullivan swap places. Who's at second base? Can you tell?
I believe the second baseman is
that Kessler? Who came in earlier? I can't see a number out there.
I think it's Trey Rose.
Trey Rose?
Yep, Trey Rose coming to second base.
Who's left field?
Yeah, so that is Trey Rose there at the third, or come in to second base.
So the Barnes go out to...
Barnes is still in center.
No, the other Barnes.
The other Barnes. Pitching is one. We had 3 of them to start the game, so...
Well, we might have to leave left field vacant. That's a strike 1. To Hunter Rhodes, the pitcher. That one's up in his chin.
Yeah, a little velocity here out of Sadler Barnes. Been playing second base for Milford. Obviously looks pretty comfortable out there on the mound.
That catches the corner for strike 2.
Rhodes looks at the umpire and says, okay, strike 2. I guess I better hit now.
I'm going to remember that by half of the inning.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Just blows it by him.
Yeah, got him on the fastball up and in, and I think Rhodes was looking for a pitch out over the plate after he got called strike 2 out there, and Sadler decides to challenge him up and in.
Third strikeout in the game for the Millard Eagles. James Stevenson drives one right at Blake Barnes for out number 3 of F8. Going to end the inning, but not until Millard comes up with 2 runs. They do so on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 3.5, it's 6-3 in favor of the Millard Eagles. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Right, and Colton Barnes had a single his first time up, so they definitely want to get his bat back in the lineup.
Curveball upstairs. Barnes can't believe it.
Yeah, a little bit up. He didn't like it, but I'm sure Rhodes didn't necessarily like that pitch they called outside on him earlier either, but you just have to go with it. The umpires have been really good and consistent throughout.
That was down for ball 2. Wade goes out to talk to Hunter Rhodes. Two balls, one strike.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. I think Rhodes called him out there basically just saying, hey, I don't want to throw that pitch. So...
Pitch is upstairs. He got away with the balk there.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah. Which, in that case, with no runners on, it would have been a ball, which is what it was anyways. But, you don't want to give any free passes. You got a 6-3 lead. You got to make these Milford hitters hit the ball.
Base on balls. I only had that as a 2-2 count. Maybe they did call the ball.
Well, I don't think they called the balk, but they did call it a ball.
Okay. So, base on balls, that's the fourth given up by Hunter Rhodes. That brings Bryson Clark to the plate. Ball rolling away. Wade thought he was going, so he didn't get a chance to really frame that pitch. Had to come up, get ready to throw the ball. There's a 1-ball pitch. Curveball gets away from Morgan Wade. Morgan's got to come up with that.
And he's fortunate right there that one more inch to the left right there, and that ball goes in the dugout and probably gives them an extra base. Luckily, it caught the edge right there and stopped.
Sitting there watching the bat boy and the on-deck hitter doing some kind of ritual over there.
Well, and it's interesting because Wade's a little bit frustrated, and Rhodes is just saying, "Hey, just turn your glove over. You don't have to catch it like everything else. Just turn the glove over. Just keep it in front."
Backhanded there by Rasmussen. He's going to go to third for the tag. And heads up.
Really was by Rasmussen. First of all, it was a great pickup. He backhands that one. But with a runner at second base right there, you're taught to see the ball through on the ground right in front of you. You can't go when the ball's hit in front of you like that. You got to see it through. And he was going right off the get-go and basically run into an out.
So that puts Bryson Clark at first base. Sadler Barnes up play. He takes strike one. Taylor Dotson on deck. Swing and miss. Sadler trying to help out his own cause here.
Yeah, and that was a really good curveball that time from Rhodes and just dropped right off the table. He swung right over the top of it.
Yeah, we had Rhodes at 65 pitches coming into this inning.
Yeah, and I know Coach Bullock come over to check and wanted to make sure, but and I don't know how many he can throw, if he threw earlier or not. I don't know that situation. We still never have been able to find out for sure, but I would imagine you're just going to stick with Rhodes if you can throw him.
That was pitch number 75 right there.
So
here's the pitch. That's hit at Rasmussen towards first. Off his back foot. Oh, good stretch there. He looked at second base, didn't have a play, and then off of his back foot, didn't get much on it, but just enough to get the 6-3 put out.
Yeah, he realized that I got to get rid of the ball quicker than I do. I don't have time to really step into my throw. I just got to get it out and fling it to first base, and wasn't sure it was going to have enough on it, but a really good stretch over there from Chaz Ashton for the out.
He's back to Taylor Dotson. Struck out looking and got on fielder's choice. Takes ball one. 2 outs in the inning. We're in the bottom of the fourth. 6-3 ball game in favor of the Millard Eagles. Ooh, he kicked something off of that one. Had Dotson swinging over the top of that for strike one. Evens things up.
Yeah, Dotson, really good defensively so far this game. Still looking for that first hit and try to get an RBI and cut into this lead. Rhodes didn't like that one as he kind of just stares at home and catches the ball, and you got to shake it off and throw it again.
True that. Oh, Morgan got one go off the glove.
Yeah, and that ball I think just had a little bit of movement on it, tailed in further than what Morgan thought it was going to do, and goes right off the heel of the glove and to the backstop, and it allows Bryson Clark to move up 90 feet. Now he's at third base.
With a 3-1 count. Watson takes a called strike two. Didn't like that pitch. He'll wait for his. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled off to the right-hand side. Stay alive. This will be the 7th pitch in the at-bat.
Rhodes isn't overpowering out there, but he does a nice job of keeping the ball down for the most part. Like we said, when he's missed up, but he's around the strike zone, he keeps it down, and he mixes it up really well with his pitches, and when he throws that really good curveball, it's got some good bite to it.
Ray looks over the dugout. He was kind of wondering where that was at. Called ball 4. Puts runners at first and third. Brings the tying run to the plate. Trey Rose.
Yeah, and Coach Bullock a little bit frustrated too. Comes out of the dugout asking the umpire where that one was, and he said he missed it in, but not sure it was in. So. And right now, Rhodes throwing over their first base. He's just got to realize runners at first and third, 2 out. You just got to focus on the hitter.
Oh, just off the glove, right back up the middle. That's going to score a run and hold up at second base. So Trey Rose comes up with a 2-out hit. Score a run.
Yeah, Rose he's stung 2 balls right up the middle. Really done a nice job at the plate for Milford. He struck out looking his first time up, but since then he's just roped 2 line drives right up the middle.
Blake Barnes represents the go-ahead run at the plate with 2 outs. There's 2 runners on. His pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
Barnes is a really patient hitter. And I don't just say that because he's walked the last 2 times, but you just watch his approach at the plate. He's not going to swing unless he has to, or it's the pitch that he wants to.
Put that one there on the outside portion. He didn't like it. He just let it go by for strike 1.
I just think it shows the confidence that he has in himself, that he can swing the bat with 1 strike, 2 strikes. He can work the count. He just trusts his ability in the box to do whatever he needs to help his team.
It's up. In his first 2 at-bats, he had seen 14 pitches from Hunter Rhodes. 2 base on balls.
Yeah, he's done his part to get the pitch count up.
2-1 pitch on its way. In the dirt. Gordon keeps that ball out in front of him.
Part of it for Barnes, he's the 3 hitter, but just a big, strong kid, and teams probably pitch around him for the most part and the best they can, and so he has to learn to be disciplined at the plate.
Got a little anxious there. If he's going to hit that pitch, he needs to send that one to the right-hand side, but tried to jerk it and just fouled it off to the third base side. So full count, 2 outs. Runners are going to be moving.
Yeah, infield has to know that I filled it, I go first base. Don't worry about the runners. Filled your position, stay home.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic of Barnes. He kind of just got chasing that pitch. It broke really hard and outside, probably ball 4, but Rhodes does enough to shut it down and get the big strikeout to end the inning.
So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base at the end of 4 complete. 6-4 Millard. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. You're not going to be able to do much with that. 0-2 pitch. Foul off to the right-hand side. Might have got a little bit more of the strike zone than he wanted to with that one.
Yeah, for sure. With 0-2, you don't want to, too many pitchers leave that ball right down the middle, or too good a pitch with 0-2, or they waste it too far out of the zone, and you want to make it just one of them borderline pitches like that one right there.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Down and away on the curveball, but started it over the outside corner and broke down and away.
Yeah, Colton Hatch got on the E3, and then he flew out to right field on the sac fly, picked up an RBI, but he's looking for his first base hit.
Swing and a miss, ball gets by. He's going to go down the right field line. They're going to have a play at second base. Good throw there. Get him.
That's a big time play right there by your right fielder, backing that up. That's Bryson Clark out there in right field, and he done a nice job.
Yeah, but kind of startled me that he's staring right at it, sees he's got the ball in his hand, he takes off anyway.
Yeah, I don't think really that Hatch was expecting him to field it cleanly and be there backing it up like he was, and then he committed, I'm going, and what a throw too to get him there at second base.
First pitch, Cooper Watcott's fouled off weakly to the right-hand side. Yeah, I mean, from where I'm sitting, unless he wasn't looking at him down there and didn't see him, I mean, he had the ball in his hand there. That one is hit. That might find a hole. Good stop by Sosi, but infield hit.
That's a big-time play for a high school shortstop right there. He's going to the hole. He's diving. he popped up and threw a rocket to first base, but the ball wasn't hit hard enough. Now, if that ball's hit harder, he throws him out. But what a play to even, first of all, get the ball and then to come up and throw that one across the diamond.
Brings up Chaz Ashton. 1 out and 1 on. 6-4 ball game. Watcott's got a pretty good lead. Barnes delivers. Upstairs for ball 1.
Ashton grounded out to third and then struck out a second time up, looking to get a base hit here and, see if they can't continue to score runs. They've scored in every inning other than the first inning.
The pitch is down.
Both these two teams, Willie, for that matter, both put up goose eggs that first inning, and then since each of them won, Millard 3, Milford 2, and then Millard 2 and Milford 1.
Tyler Barnes takes a good long lurk at first base, then delivers inside for ball 3. Chaz Ashton's grounded out to third and struck out. There's one right straight up the middle. Barnes is in quick. Going to go to second. See if they can get him, but another hit.
Yeah, back-to-back singles. It's going to bring up Landon Lee. Landon Lee's been a tough out so far. He's been coming up clutch for Coach Bullock and his Millard Eagle team. He's got a triple and then was hit by a pitch.
Scored a run.
And scored a run on that last time when he got on by the hit by pitch.
6-4, 1 out. He squares like he's going to bunt. Pulls it back, takes strike 1. Playing baseball, I never quite understood that one.
Well,
either going to bunt the ball or
not. But you're basically taking a strike, I guess, and if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. But
where's another one? I guess he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, give him credit. Finds another way on. He's been on all 3 times. Triple and hit by pitch, and now another hit by pitch. And that's going to load the bases up for Taylor Davies, who hit a shot to left center field his last time up.
Stand-up triple. First pitch from Sadler Barnes. That's upstairs, ball 1. Yeah, Taylor Davies hit a rocket. You had just been bragging about him, too.
Yeah,
so.
and he showed his speed, too. I mean, my heavens.
There's one that's hit towards the shortstop. Sosa up, big hop. Second for 1. They're not going to get it at second, and that's going to score another run.
Yeah, that's one of those where, and you've got to practice this, Willie, but there's 2 ways to play that right there. And because of the high hop, you're only going to get the out at second base. There's no chance to turn the double play. But that's where you fake the throw to first base, and you come back and you check that runner at third base, and if he's off at all, you rifle it over there and you get a chance to get him out. But you save the throw. Same thing by faking the throw and checking the runner at third. If there's nothing there, you hold the throw there as well. But by him making that throw, it costs him another run.
Okay, yeah. That's what Bullock's pointing at. I've got 2 runs across the scoreboard, only shows 1, but there's another. No, just foul. Off the bat of Morgan Wade. Yeah, I was looking at too. He was pointing at the scoreboard to get that second run up there. It's there now.
Yeah, Morgan Wade, has done a nice job catching. He's had to work really hard back there. A lot of these balls that Rhodes throws aren't easy to catch, and I'm sure he caught the first game today too. So it starts getting tough on these catchers when it gets into this tournament.
Next one's upstairs, keeping things up at 1-1. Yeah, catching ain't glamorous. And it ain't always easy.
No.
Hardly ever easy.
Yeah.
Underappreciated. Curveball. Can catch the corner. Called strike 2. 8-4. Top of the 5th. As darkness falls on Gates Field, Kearns High School. There's one that's hit right at the second baseman, Trey Rose, for out number 3.
Yeah, Rose has done a nice job at the plate and defensively. Just a really good-looking baseball player and understands the game.
Okay, they come up with 2 runs. They do so on 2 hits, no errors. And I have nobody left on base after 4.5. 8-4. Millard will be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for Milford, number 34, Corbin Dalton.
Dalton's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Nubs one off the end of the bat.
Playing a little pool right there as he hits the cue shot towards
a little right English.
First baseline.
Trying to set up for a shot on the 8 ball.
You know, the first pitch swinging, which, you know, that's okay. You're still bottom of the 5th inning. You're trailing 8-4. But as you get into that 6th, 7th inning, you got to start seeing some pitches.
Braden Perry moving over to take that behind first base. Got a better angle at it than did the first baseman, Chaz Ashton. So it's P4 and out number 1. Kilo Sosi.
Number 4, Kilo Sosi.
He's grounded out and popped out. But he's made some stellar plays.
Yeah, he really has.
Shortstop.
He's a good athlete.
To Rasmussen, across to the first baseman for out number 2.
You know, Rasmussen on the other side, they both play shortstop, but Rasmussen had a great game defensively, and then obviously he's been on fire at the plate, but defensively too, he's made a lot of nice plays.
You notice Hunter Rhodes just kind of taking some stuff off here of his pitch. He changes speed a little bit.
Just competitive out there, just pitching.
Peyton Sullivan, 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. Strike one right there.
You're right, though, Willie. I mean, he's taken a lot off in comparison, you know, maybe just kind of throwing off their timing a little bit, getting them to roll over some of those pitches and ground out just like that to Peyton Rasmussen.
Yeah, just easing the ball up there. One strikes, not to hang himself with the walks.
Yeah. Well, and right now 0-2. Now you could turn around and zing one in there, come with the high fastball and challenge him.
Chooses to go down and away, and
a little bit of a
not biting.
Slider or curveball right there, but yeah, Sullivan doing a nice job, just being patient, letting that one go.
I've not been able to find these games on KSL.
Has he got his eyes whited out, or are my eyes playing trick on me out there?
Rhodes?
Hunter Rhodes, yeah.
Well, he's got the black underneath, so it makes it look that way.
He's some sun, huh? Ball 2, same spot as the last one. Said, oh no, my eyes are going on me this time of night.
Yeah, well, he's got the black underneath, and then it actually comes down the cheeks on both sides.
Well, it sure glares at me from back here. 2-2 pitch. Just takes something off. Ashton's going to get it. He's going to flip to Hunter Rhodes, covering for the 3-1 put out.
That's a good job of the pitcher. Anything hit that side, getting over there and covering, and a nice play defensively. One of those few 1, 2, 3 innings that Millard's had. They've put up 2 to Milford 0 right there.
Yeah, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. So at the end of 5 complete, it's 8-4. Millard will be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, V6 Media.
We've been spending a lot more time in our homes and with our families. This creates wear and tear on our floors. One solution to your flooring dilemmas is luxury vinyl plank flooring from Shepherd's Carpets. Hi, I'm Teresa from Shepherd's Carpets and Flooring to let you know that we carry high-quality vinyl plank flooring. The flooring is waterproof and is affordable for your home. Only at Shepherd's Carpets in Spanish Fork and Litchfield will you be able to get the quality flooring at a great price and help and advice to install it, or use our expert installers to do it for you.
Smithfield Foods offers excellent career opportunities right here in our area. Great jobs in all phases of hog production starting at $13 an hour. Certifications to $15.75 an hour in the first year. Other non-farm positions also available. Smithfield provides a full benefit package including medical, dental, vision, 401k, life insurance, paid time off, education reimbursement, and more. Come join the team. Visit smithfieldfoods.com/careers or call 435-387-6000. Smithfield, good food responsibly.
Live high school sports action on
KSVC.
All I got to do is keep pushing buttons here. So we're back. Top of the 6th. I don't know what's wrong. I'm on the wrong sheet over there.
I was going to
don't
say
have a number 11.
Peyton Rasmussen right now, he's got to either hit a single or a homer and hope for one more time up and then go for the other one to hit the cycle. He's got a double, 2 triples.
Yeah, I see that we have a substitution there that I didn't see, but I had the Milford sheet still up there. So 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, Coach Bullock's not going to sub out Rasmussen right now. He's one of the defensive stalwarts out there, and then doing work at the plate. We've talked about it still, but no adjustment. Right field playing pretty much right field and shallow, and Barnes on the left side of second base and center field part way. You know, he's not shallow, but he's not deep either. Just pretty much straight up.
I think Barnes is playing to his speed, but that's a big hole to cover out there.
That's the other thing, though. Barnes can deepen up because he's so fast. It's easier to come in than it is to go back on a ball.
2-2 pitch. There's one that's hit right at the third base. Now, good scoop there. Throws a strike across the diamond.
I'll tell you what, there's not been much getting by the third baseman over there, Taylor Dotson. Man, he's just like a vacuum cleaner over there, just scooping things up.
So 1 out. Hunter Rhodes at the plate. Hunter flew out to center field, has a double, scored a run, and struck out. First pitch. Sadler Barnes is upstairs for ball 1. Pitch fouled straight back. Strike one. Well, I wish I could say there was a big steak waiting for me when I got home tonight, but there's nothing but an old lonely motel room. 1-1.
You might be lucky to find something before everything's closed tonight. But, this Millard team, 1-18 coming into today. They get the win, go 2-18, have a chance to go after today 3-18, pick up 2 wins, more than they've had all season. But
upstairs,
they've done it with good pitching and defense. And they've, other than the first inning, they've scored every inning. And you've got to do that to win ball games.
I think the one real error was, the run themselves into the double play, but, they've made up for it. Upstairs, that's going to be the base on balls for Hunter Rhodes.
On Hunter Rhodes, when you walk in, that's just like a double because it's not going to take, I wouldn't think, too many pitches before you see him, especially with an 8-4 lead. Go ahead and try to steal this base, not necessarily try to steal it, but go for the stolen base, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on this Milford team to try to throw him out.
Brings up big James Stevenson, third baseman. First pitch from Saddle Barnes, there it goes. Swing and a miss, throw down, nope.
Yeah, you just got to expect that with Rhodes when he gets on, and, good thing for Millard right now is they have a chance to continue to score runs. Add to it as they get Rhodes in scoring position.
Well, that one more run makes it a 5-run bulge. That's a big one. So the 0-1. That's upstairs. Corbin Dalton comes up to get that one. Evens things up, 1-1. Corbin Dalton calls timeout. He wants to go out and talk to his right-hander.
Yeah, just make sure their signs are squared away at the runner at second base, I think, and then just kind of settle him in, make sure to get the ball down in the zone and throw strikes.
So 1-1 count to James Stevenson, 8-4. Top of 6 here. Next pitch is down. Ball 2. Oh, umpire gets that one. Foul ball there. Stevenson tried to hold up. He's acting like it hit his arm.
I thought it did. I thought it hit off of his arm, and then it ricocheted and hit the umpire, but he's still got the bat in his hands. He's standing there. He didn't hustle right down to first base.
Do you have replay on? No. Let's see if we saw a replay on that one. I think they're saying that that ball did hit him.
Oh, they're saying
he went for it.
Saying he swung, so yeah, it hit him on the shoulder, but he swung, so strike.
2-2. Second base ump came in and explained that to Coach Bullock.
And it seemed kind of different because he didn't immediately just take off down to first base, so I think he knew it himself, James Stevenson.
2-2, 1 out. Next pitch is upstairs. Ball 3.
Well, and that's the reason the catcher didn't see that, as it got after it hit Stevenson and then deflected off of him and hit the umpire.
There's the payoff pitch. Curve ball, that's going to get him. Throws him right there in his cleats. Strikeout looking, that's going to bring up Colton Hatch.
Hatch still looking for his first base hit. He's got on the E3, and then he flew out to right field on the sac fly, picked up an RBI, and then struck out swinging in his last at-bat.
And got on, and the ball got by the catcher. Strike 1. Still 1. Swung another one in the dirt. 2 strikes, but it does move James Stevenson 90 foot closer to home plate. Oh, that's Hunter Rhodes. Sorry.
Yeah, Rhodes rounding third base and wanting to really try to get in there and get something going, but I think him and the third baseman kind of having words.
Yeah. Third baseman not backing down. Taylor Dodson.
They're going
to go from the stretch.
We're going to hold him on, and now they're going to go from the windup, which is going to allow Rhodes to get way down the line.
Yeah, he goes as far as that third baseman goes off, and you make a bouncing back and forth back there. Ball's fouled off to the right-hand side.
Rhodes is pretty amped up over there. I wouldn't be a bit surprised you don't just see him try to steal home base right here. Looking over at Coach and nodding his head like, hey, I can steal home here, but I don't think Coach Bullock wants to see him do that.
Upstairs. Good idea, though, from Sadler Barnes. Next pitch. Woo. Had that not been up at the head, he might have tried to wear that one, but that was what got him right in the neck.
Yeah, and I think coaches are saying, hey, go from the stretch. Keep Rhodes close. They don't want to see him steal a base, and especially a run right here.
That's going to do it right there. Ball in the dirt, gets away. And Rhodes comes in with the 9th run. Bring the count full.
Well, and I think that's why you saw Sadler Barnes throwing out of the windup. He's more comfortable throwing out of the windup than the stretch, but he goes to the stretch and throws the ball in the dirt, and Rhodes scores anyways.
And he's thrown, 2 or 3 pitches already from the full windup, then goes to that stretch. Everything's different. It's a cool night. Ball 4.
A good at bat from Hatch to battle right there, and same thing. I would think with the 9-4 lead, you might see Hatch try to steal a base right here too, get in scoring position.
Yeah, that's a good speed. If he can get a 2-step lead. That one's fouled to the right-hand side. Sullivan going back. He's going to stop. Come in. He's got it for the P3 and out number 3. But they do come up with 1 run. I didn't have no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. So after 5.5, it's 9-4 Millard. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. That again, he's going to be able to start the final inning.
Yeah, for sure, and at least maybe face 1 batter depending on the number of pitches there. But I think we talked about it, in between innings, Willie, that maybe that was the reason he took some off, as he wanted to throw strikes, get these players to swing and hit, let the defense, and save some pitches versus really going at them full strength.
Yep. So that's going to bring up Colton Barnes. These guys went to the right side. That's going to drop in there.
Good piece of hitting right there. Getting that one to drop in there, Colton Barnes for the single. But if that was hit any more towards the right fielder, there's a one pitch out. But instead, that drops in for the base hit.
That kind of reminds me of what a couple years ago, Jansen Kiesel facing Beaver. Started the inning with 101 pitches. Then their first pitch swinging, ends up winning the no-hitter.
Yeah.
Finishes the ball game. Threw 8 pitches in that final inning and ended up with 109 pitches. Strike one. Dyson Clark.
Yeah, Clark's 0 for 1. Drew a walk his first time up and then hit into a fielder's choice his last at-bat.
Just 4 hits for the Milford Tigers. 4 runs from those 4 hits. Throw to first. Not in time. Scoreboard has 7 hits for the Eagles. I show 8. So the 0-1 pitch here to Bryson Clark from Hunter Rhodes. Just takes something off. Deep foul behind the plate there.
Yeah, Rhodes is throwing a lot more. Not that he's really walked a whole lot of guys because he's only walked a couple.
He walked them early,
Yeah. But you're right. It was early, and then he's just kind of dialed it in the last few innings. But I think it's the key, just taking something off and realizing he doesn't have to do it all himself. Throw strikes, pitch to contact, let your defense make plays behind you.
Still got the thing going on between Clark and Rhodes. He just steps out on him now after that little deal at third base there and stares out there at him. Kids will be kids.
Well, they're both competing, this is the winner plays tomorrow, the loser goes home. Milford's had their number during the year, beat them twice in the 2 previous meetings.
Looking to get a little karma on the Millard Eagles. So the 0-2 pitch. Right there. Strike 3.
Yeah, good pitch, and he placed that one right where he needed to. And Clark was looking for something, I think, maybe off speed, and he just challenged him with the fastball.
Sadler Barnes.
So that brings up Sadler Barnes.
Checking, looks like Barnes down there at first base, kind of rubbing his knee. Maybe when he dove back in on that pickoff, maybe kind of tweaked his knee a little bit. He's going to stay in, though. Coaches talked to him, checked him, and he rubbed it and said, I'm good.
Maybe a little psychology here, too, Take Rhodes out of the routine. That one's fouled off to the right-hand side. Wow, good play there by Chaz Ashton. He gave chase and was able to pick it up. P3, flat number 2.
I'll tell you what, Ashton, for a first baseman, he gives you everything he's got on every one of those. He is full bore, and, it was just a matter of time before he got one of those, and he over-the-head basket catch and running full speed, so a nice play right there out of your first baseman. Coach Bullock's got to be really happy picking up the second out right there.
103 pitches with 2 outs. Top of the order, Taylor Dotson, first pitch swinging, strike 1. 104.
And then Ashton saves it right there.
Probably not the wisest play, but if it would have worked, would have saved a pitch.
Yeah.
Pitches are a premium. Wow, that one misses down, close. Pitch number 105. 110 count and pitch limit. 110 pitch limit we're talking about. Swing and a miss. One in the lower part of the strike zone.
Yeah, pretty good swing from Dotson right there. He just kind of pulled off it. Needed to stay down on that pitch and drive that one up the middle, but just kind of trying to pull it a little bit and pulled his head out in the last minute. Just fouls that one straight back down in the catcher's glove.
It's 106. I don't know. Maybe I don't see anybody warming up in the bullpen down there and getting ready for the next thing. But ooh.
Yeah, I think they'll probably end up, like you're saying, there's nobody in the bullpen warming up, so more than likely they're going to pull someone from the game that's in playing defense right now already, pull someone in if they need to, which I'm sure they'd like to wait and do that in the 7th, but they may have to here in the bottom of the 6th.
Good ball. Right there, he's getting looking. Pitch number 108, so he's going to be able to start the 7th inning. So, no runs on the one hit, no errors, one person left on base. After, where are we at? We're going into the top of the 7th inning. Millard's got a 9-4 lead. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Delta and Fillmore Community Hospitals are proud to support our local athletes both during the game and after. And like with high school sports, we understand the importance of having a strong, dedicated team. From our physicians and nursing staff to our technicians and many other healthcare professionals, each of our own starters have an impressive record in addition to years of experience in their fields. And while it's not the rush of scoring the winning point, each day we have our own victories as we provide the best care for our neighbors and friends in Millard County.
When you get a bit older, you just need a little more help, and we're here for you at Service Drug, your family-owned and operated pharmacy that's served our community since 1939. Whether you need assistance with your prescriptions, medical supplies, and equipment, or you're looking for that perfect gift, seasonal item, and greeting cards, it's all here for you at Service Drug, with home delivery, vaccinations, and curbside pickup available in Delta and Fillmore and at servicedrug.net, where you get service first at Service Drug.
Hi everyone, it's Brady with Droubaix Chevrolet in Delta. There's no doubt our economic climate is changing. Finding the right vehicle at the right price has become more of a challenge than ever. At Droubaix Chevrolet, we either have or can get what you want for your family, your work, or for fun at a price you're happy with. We do things differently here, committed to world-class service with a hometown feeling. Come experience the Droubaix difference for yourself. Find us online at DroubaixChevrolet.com or call 435-864-2581. That's 864-2581. Droubaix Chevrolet, your dealership.
You're listening to exciting high school sports action on
KSVC.
Willie Akers, Nolan Anderson back here at Gates Field. 9-4 ball game in favor of Millard Eagles going on top of the 7th. Chaz Ashton fouls off the first pitch he sees from Sadler Barnes. Next pitch is up for ball 1. 1-1.
Millard right now just want to add an insurance run if they can. They put up the one goose egg in the first inning, but they've scored in every inning since, and would like to add one more here.
Curveball in the dirt, gets all the way to the backstop. Ball 2. Excuse me, ball 2. 2-1. Ball 3, Chaz Ashton.
These catchers are, I think they're getting a little tired right now. A lot of these balls, they should be caught, and they're just bouncing off the gloves, not looking them all the way into the pocket.
Three and 1, Chaz Ashton. Takes upstairs for ball 4. Show that as the third base on balls. Giving up 4th, 5th. They ain't been keeping up very good.
Yeah, there's been a few hit by pitches to mix into those walks as well.
Upstairs.
I think and to be honest, Willie, I think that's one of the keys for this Millard team right now is they've been patient at the plate. They've drawn their walks. They've been hit by pitches, and then they've got those key hits and, putting together a really good approach at the plate.
And the lead just fouled one off to the right-hand side. I think he was willing to wear that first pitch that was up there. Tried to turn, but it missed him by about 3 inches.
Yeah, well, and even his first time up to bat when he ends up hitting a triple, should have probably been hit by a pitch previous to that, but instead he hits the triple, and then his last 2 at-bats has been hit by pitch.
1-1. Swings and swipes at one, low and away, and misses. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runner on first. 9-4 ball game in favor of the Millard Eagles. Haven't done much wrong here today. Outside. Ball 2.
Yeah, and they're really trying to keep the ball away from him too. Pitching everything on the outer half of the plate, and you know that swing that he had on strike 2, he tried to pull it. If you're going to hit that outside pitch, you got to hit it right fielder. You're not going to see it.
Ball 3 upstairs. Well, with that open stance that he's got, he should be able to step into that pitch that's outside and drive it that way. Full count. Hit to the second baseman slows. Going to have to go to first for the out, for the 4-3 put out, 1 out. But that does move the runner.
Yeah, good play from Rose. Once again, he's just had a great game from Milford. But like you said, that works just like a bunt because it wasn't hit very hard and allows the runner to advance.
So that brings up Taylor Davies. It's ball 1.
Yeah, Davies isn't your typical 9 hitter. I mean, we've talked about that throughout the game, but he's capable of really driving the baseball.
And this one there.
That could be.
I'll go up. Good catch there by the left fielder.
Wow,
whoever it is, we don't know. You catch a number there?
I can't see. I'm not sure exactly who that is, but that ball was hit high and deep down the left field line, and it ends up being about 5 feet foul, and he dives and makes the catch right as he goes into the kind of the cement retaining wall down there. Really nice play defensively. We'll have to make sure we watch as he comes in and make sure we give him credit. That's a big-time catch out there in left field.
So that brings Morgan Wade to the plate. He takes ball 1. So runner at second, 2 outs now. 1-0. From Sadler Barnes on the way. Outside. Ball 2.
Yeah, Coach Bullock really talking to Morgan Wade here at the plate, telling him, hey, whatever it takes, we got to try to get this run in. Be patient, but get your pitch and drive it.
Once looked at the center field. Barnes is coming in. Second baseman going out. That's going to be caught by Trey Rose for out number 3. So the P4 ends the inning. So no runs. No hits. No errors, and 1 runner left on base. So after 6.5, it's 9-4 Millard. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Since 1947.
At V6 Media, we specialize in helping businesses tell their stories with powerful and engaging video. But telling your story is just the starting point. Telling it to the right people in the right place is how you make it count. Our team can help by delivering your ad in places like Google, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll make sure that your business is being seen. Your business has a story to tell. Let us help. These
We've loved taking care of the people of Central Utah since 1932. We look forward to serving you for the next 90 years.
Your connection for high school sports.
KSBC.
Willie Akers, Nolan Anderson back here at Gates Field. And Peyton Rasmussen comes on and induces a ground ball. First pitch swing from Trey Rose. For the ground out.
Yeah, and Peyton Rasmussen on in relief of Hunter Rhodes, who threw all the pitches he could throw. Peyton Rasmussen did throw earlier, threw 94 pitches, threw one right there. So now he's got 15 left.
First pitch swinging as well there.
I did catch, too. We want to mention Colton Barnes is the left fielder for Milford. He started in center, and then when Blake Barnes went out there, but that was a heck of a catch from Colton Barnes last inning.
Next pitch is in the dirt. Yeah, that was a great play out there by Colton Barnes. So 1-1 to Blake Barnes. Speaking of Barnes's, pitch number 96. Down and away. Taylor, I think Peyton needs to adopt the Hunter Rhodes thing and just throw some strikes here.
Yeah.
Not trying to be too fine. Blake's going to look at him. Three and one. Going to make it full count.
You know, the good thing if you're Coach Bullock is you got one out here in the bottom of the seventh with a 5-run lead. I think you're probably feeling pretty comfortable getting through Rasmussen and then whoever you have to go to get that final out.
So throws another curveball. Pitch number 99.
4A, 5A, 6A playoffs. So the whole thing, grass. You guys have a lot of tournaments.
Had him leaning. I'm going to come upstairs. Up and in.
Because the field was all tore out. They completely redid the field and the seating in the field.
That's right. That's Ashton giving chase, but he's going to run out of real estate there. Got in that corner. We couldn't see what happened, but
he ran out of view right there. There's a little bit of a space between the actual retaining wall and the end of the dugout. There's a kind of a notch there that goes beyond, and he went behind the dugout. Not sure if he could reach over the railing or what. If he would have caught it, we wouldn't have been able to see it. But, Chaz Ashton's done a nice job at first base.
Yep, I had that as pitch 100. Curveball. Whoop, he's going to walk. Good at bat.
And Millard does have a righty down in the bullpen warming up, so this will probably, more than likely, depending on the number of pitches here, could be it for Peyton Rasmussen, and then we'll see who it is. Can't tell because of the fence who's down there warming up.
That's why the one that brings up Corbin Dalton.
You don't get paid much to coach, but in my case, it costs me money to coach.
Upstairs.
And I believe he's got 6 pitches left.
102 is what I had. That would give him 8, wouldn't it? Mine's unofficial. Well, it makes me nervous doing that kind of stuff. Just Let's throw strikes here. You got a 5-run lead.
5-run lead, and the force is on. Yeah, you don't worry about the runner. You're playing for 2 outs at this point.
He's going to get out of play. The runner was moving on the play.
Yeah, Barnes with good speed. He's going to take off, and I'm sure that's these two teams know each other. That's what we've talked about, so they're going to try to keep him close, but really you can probably just play your position and let him have it. You see that all the time in college and in the majors where they'll just give you the base. They're playing for outs.
Same thing. Foul back. Just hits the lip of the roof. Yeah.
Yeah, so 4 more pitches for Peyton Rasmussen, but he'll be able to finish this batter. If he finishes it with less than 4, he should be able to then turn around and face Kilo Sosi.
Good ball right there. Gonna ring him up.
Yeah, got him on the backwards K, and that will allow him to finish this batter if he gets him out. Now, if he gets on base or gets a base hit or for whatever reason can reach, Millard will have to make a change. But otherwise, Peyton Rasmussen can go ahead and finish this batter.
That pitch 107, so this would be 108 here. Get right back. Oh, booted there by the second baseman. Oh, they go to third. Lets the runner advance to second. So the E4.
Yeah, and because that was the first pitch swinging where he does get the base hit up the middle, Rasmussen can face another batter.
Pitch number 109 about to come to take Peyton Sullivan. Curveball. Not sure where that one missed.
Yeah, just a little bit up, I'm guessing, but Rasmussen really wanted it. And really right now, Millard, you can't worry about the runners at second, third. They mean nothing. You're trying to play for 1 out.
Upstairs, ball 2.
So I believe he's done with his pitches, so he can finish this batter, and then that's it.
That was 110 according to my count. Called strike there.
Yeah, took a lot off of that pitch just to get it over the inside part of the plate, and that's all you really need to do. Throw a strike in there. Peyton Sullivan is 0 for 2 today with a walk.
Hit this. Peyton. Oh man, that's going to do it for.
That's a ball hit right back to Peyton Rasmussen. He bobbles it and can't really pick it up, and then he just kind of floats one to first base and doesn't get it there all the way in a tough play for Ash, and he can't come up with it, so everyone's safe. Runners advance from third to home and second to third, and Peyton Sullivan finds himself at first base. So
2 errors in the inning.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we hit the pitcher. We'll take a quick break here. You're on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
He gets changed for Millard, now pitching number 8, Hunter Stock.
change up, you throw a fastball, make sure it's either low outside or up above the belt, get a pop up. He's still up there waiting for the rest to go home.
How about number 20, Colton Barnes?
This is Trenton Terry in the lineup. Batter's Colton Barnes. Made that sparkling play out there in left field. He's going to get a chance to help his ball club right here at the bat. Hit shortstop Rhodes, first base. That's going to do it.
Comes in
6-3.
one pitch, gets the victory. And Millard's pretty fired up after that win.
Well, they should be. You know, they have won more ball games today than they won all season. So we're going to take a quick break while we get ready for our wrap-up here on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network, where the Millard Eagles have just defeated the Milford Tigers 9-5. We'll be back.
We sell more, so you pay less. Jorgensen Automotive Group.
With the victory, Millard advances to game 27. Tomorrow at 1:30, Millard will take on Enterprise at 1:30. Tomorrow's games slated are 11 a.m. Kanab versus Beaver, at 1:30 Enterprise versus Millard, and at 4:30 the semifinal South Sevier versus Parowan. On behalf of the Utah High School Activities Association, all of its member schools, we appreciate you supporting our student athletes. Let's give them a round of applause, including that of Milford High School for their great tournament. Congratulations on your great season.
Anderson back here, where we just saw the Millard Eagles win more ball games today than they've won all season long. They just defeated the Milford Tigers 9-5.
You know, it reminds me of the Kentucky Derby, and you were talking about that last Saturday.
Yep. You can never count a team out. It's the heart size of the, you know how they say it ain't the size of the dog in the fight, the size of the fight in the dog. So that's kind of the way it was for the Millard Eagles today. A sterling performance there by Hunter Rhodes, and come away with the 9-5 victory. Final numbers for the home team: Milford Tigers 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 7 runners left on base. For the Millard Eagles, I had 9 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors, and 6 runners left on base unofficially. So good day of baseball. That means the Millard Eagles, let's see, where's that going to put them tomorrow? So, they'll be back here.
Yeah, so Millard will be here. They'll play the second game. The first game will be Kanab versus Beaver at 11, and then following that will be Enterprise Millard.
Yeah, 9-5. They beat Milford. Now they got to come and play the Enterprise Wolves.
And then for our listeners as well, you've got the South Sevier Parowan game following that one at 4:30.
Yeah, so we'll have at least 3 ball games for you. The first 3, Kanab Beaver, 11 a.m., Millard Enterprise at 1:30, and South Sevier Parowan at 4:30. He's Nolan Anderson. I'm Willie Akers. Happy trails.